Man, that was honestly one of the most epic experience I've ever had since Avengers Endgame. Well, actually, with both Marvel movies I've seen, I never had such a great cinematic experience than this one. Because this was just so unbelievable, man. Oh, God. Oh, my God. Yeah, this thing is just so. Let's talk about Spider Man No Way Home. Honestly, it's just good. It's really good. It's really good. Um, seeing Tom Holland, come a long way with his movies, seeing him progress as Peter Parker and Spider Man with the MCU version, but seeing him progress, seeing his first entry in Captain America Civil War, seeing him in Homecoming, Avengers Infinity War, Avengers Endgame, and also to Far From Home, and then this recent new movie, Spider Man No Way Home, which honestly, I just really was looking forward to seeing this movie. Ever since when they were saying, "Oh, we're gonna film it," and then ever since there was a big history when coming to this movie. Originally, they were gonna try to do a third one, but then unfortunately, due to the fact that in August 2019, Sony and Disney they couldn't agree, and Sony and Disney could not agree on what their new deal for Spider-Man can be. And I remember I was one of those people who was like, "I'm so fucking pissed," that they got Spider-Man out of the MCU, so this is not acceptable for me because I really want to see what they were going to do for his future. Because after that big cliffhanger in Far From Home, I was like, what are they going to do? Like, you just can't end it like that. You can't do it, Sony. Please don't do this to us. Later on, September, they actually decided, we're going to end this one good, so we're going to agree on something, and hopefully we'll make this biggest Spider-Man ever. And then, yeah, so they started filming this a year last year, and I remember everyone was just saying, okay, we got everything, we're gonna probably make this the best Spider-Man movie ever. And then all these rumors came out of nowhere, and people were just saying, all these other things. They said Alfred Molina was coming back, and then they said, oh, Jamie Foxx's Electro is coming back, okay. And then afterwards it said, okay, Sandman's coming back, Lizard's coming back, and then also the Green Goblin. And I was like, guys, wait, are you guys actually saying this, or is it just a rumor? But then afterwards, some of the actors had confirmed it. I mean, Jamie Foxx confirmed it afterwards, and then afterwards, Alfred Molina confirmed his return back in, I believe, the spring of 2021. And then afterwards, they were talking about how these other villains were to come back. I was like, okay, maybe they're gonna try to do something great. I mean, I don't know what they're gonna do. So, and then the big one, which was Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield in this movie, which people were saying serious doubts. And also with Andrew Garfield, what he does in his interviews, when they asked him about Spider-Man, he was like, guys, I'm not in the movie, so please chill out. Not every rumor is true, so yeah. And then August 2021, we finally saw a first trailer of the movie, and I was just blown away for how great this one was. I was very excited to see what they were going to do and all these other things. And I was more than excited to finally check this one out because this was a big hype movie of 2021. And Marvel's just been doing pretty great lately with their movies, their TV shows. And basically, they've been just knocking it out of the park lately. And as of right now, I really do love Shang-Chi, Legend of the Ten Rings. Hawkeye was just so... As of right now, I really do love that show. And also Falcon and Winter Soldier, they've just been doing pretty good. I was not big on Internals or What If, but overall, even though they weren't that good, I still pretty much enjoyed them for how they were. But now let's get ready to talk about Spider-Man No Way Home. Now let me give you a brief synopsis. Well, spoiler alert, this is counting the ending of Far From Home. So Mysterio revealed his identity to everyone around the world that Peter Parker is Spider-Man, thinking that, oh, Peter Parker killed Mysterio, and Peter Parker, now he's on the run because of the fact that now his identity's been revealed and can cause danger to the people he loves and cares about. Until he thinks of an idea, and you probably saw this in the trailer where he goes to Doctor Strange asking, hey, will there be a way where we can make people forget that I'm Spider-Man? And it's due to the fact that the spell goes completely wrong, and now the fact that because of that spell, a lot of these villains come out of nowhere. From the Raimi films, from the Mark Webb films, they all come back, and it's basically, he's going to try to do his best in order to save the day. And honestly, with this movie, I'm so glad it wasn't another Amazing Spider-Man 2 or Spider-Man 3, where they overstuffed it with the villains and see what they were going to do with it. But I'm glad this one turned out to be pretty good. With the story like this one, I really did enjoy for what it did. And seeing how Tom Holland as Peter Parker progresses as a character in this movie, and I really did like his motivation, what he was going to try to do here. And whenever he was doing something good, whenever he was doing something, it was just he really wanted to try his best in order to become this thing, and find out the meaning of what it is to be Spider-Man. And what this movie's done, it's just so great. I mean, like I said in the beginning, this movie was pretty much one of my favorite cinematic experiences. Because you had great stuff, you got great surprises, and also big reactions from audiences. And this time, as I'm recording this, I just got out from the first screening of this movie, and the audience reaction was just so big. Everyone clapping, applauding, cheering, and also seeing some of these return of the villains. I'm like, this has got to be one of the best things. And also, on top of that, the action scenes are quite fantastic. Like, whether it be the bridge scene where you see him versus Doc Ock, or even the final battle scene, which, honestly, that's actually one of the best scenes I've ever seen in a Spider-Man movie since the original Sam Raimi trilogy. So, really great action scenes, and not to mention some of the visual effects really do work out in this film. And every actor in this movie did a good job. Tom Holland, I really did love his performance as Peter Parker this time, and I actually really, really do care about what was going to happen for him, and also for his friends, and also for Aunt May. I'm like, this is something that I wanted to feel for a Spider-Man movie, because when you look at the Maguire films, I really do care about his character, and knowing that what were the obstacles and what was the stuff that he was going to go through, and I really, really loved also that could go as well for Andrew Garfield as Spider-Man, because when you look at his films, it was something so magnificent. And also, the return of the villains, Green Goblin, Doc Ock, Sandman, the Lizard, and Electro. I am glad they got the original actors to come back, and they all knocked it out of the park. And it was just so magnificent. I mean, every time when I saw Dr. Otto Octavius or the Green Goblin coming back, I'm like, oh my god, I'm getting chills, because I remember I was this little when I saw the original Spider-Man trilogy when I was a kid. I was like 3 years old when I first got introduced to the first Spider-Man movie, and seeing Green Goblin like as a great villain, and I actually really do remember some of the stuff. And seeing Dr. Octavius, like, it was so good seeing these characters come back. And honestly, the more I think about them, I'm glad they actually managed to pull it off. And also, one other thing I want to say is that this is actually one of the most darkest Spider-Man films. Like, it can go dark, it can go emotional, and it can go beyond its limits of what it can do as a Spider-Man film. And part of the MCU, as a matter of fact, because it was just so dark, and surprisingly enough, it was so emotional of what they did. And honestly, I never thought I would actually cry in the theater, and I actually did cry by three times. And I think the last time I saw a Spider-Man movie was recently when I rewatched Spider-Man 2. But as for the other things that happened in this movie, I wish I can talk about these ones, but unfortunately, due to spoilers, and I do not want to talk about it, maybe I'll do a spoiler talk and saying what did I really like and what I disliked about the movie. But overall, needless to say, Spider-Man No Way Home was definitely the best one of the MCU Spider-Man films. It's dark, emotional, it's epic. You hold on to your edge of your seat every time when you see that movie. It was extremely amazing for how it was. And as a Spider-Man fan, 20 years later, I fell in love with this character with the comic books, the TV show, or the movies by Andrew Garfield, Tobey Maguire, and now with Tom Holland. This movie really satisfied me as a Spider-Man fan. And I cannot wait to see what they have the plans for the future for this character. I just can't wait. And also the Tom Holland, you're going into places, man. Because this movie did deliver it. And honestly, this is actually my top 3 favorite comic book films. Like, next to Shang-Chi, The Suicide Squad, and Spider-Man No Way Home, definitely my top 3 favorite comic book movies of the year. And I think, as I'm recording this, I think this is my last review for 2021. And I will be doing the comic book movie ranking and the top 10 best and worst movies in next week. But overall, if you guys seen Spider-Man No Way Home, let me know how you thought about it. And did you like it? Did you hate it? And also, no spoilers, because this is going to be a big movie. No spoilers, okay? So yeah, have a great day. And also, yeah, I really like this movie.